my channel. I'm Veena Nair. I'm a registered clinical psychologist and I make mental health related videos. Do like, share and subscribe to my channel for more such content. Today we are going to be touching upon self-compassion. Self-compassion is an attitude, basically working on extending compassion towards our own life journeys. We are all different individuals with our own different ambition, and it's perfectly fine to chase our dreams. But at the same time, we can be very unfair in the way we, look at ourselves and appreciate and evaluate our own selves. We often get into, this process of blatantly comparing ourselves with different people. While we are in the process of comparison, we often overlook the fact that the parameters on which we are comparing ourselves with the other person is sometimes limited in terms of the information, limited in terms of what characteristic trait that we choose in comparison, and also sometimes does not do enough justice to the conclusions that we make. We need to be kinder in this approach. It's perfectly fine to chase your ambitions. Ambitions are good. They help us push our own barriers. But when we are trying to compare ourselves with other people constantly, we get into this stage of, chasing to keep up with others instead of chasing our own dreams. And that can definitely derail our process. If you have a particular goal in mind, make sure that you spend a lot of time organizing your thoughts, figuring out what your end goal is, figuring out a path that you need to be achieving. But sometimes what we do is we engage in these critical comments. We let other external voices get between us and make us believe that we're not doing enough. One of the most crucial aspects that we also need to be kinder towards is that we are on a journey towards building something. So if we find ourselves comparing our journeys with someone else who's already completed their journey, then it's not justified because we've not reached our end goal, and therefore it's not okay for us to make those comparisons. Similarly, we often overlook the factor that we choose specific individuals and their specific strengths while making these comparisons, rather than looking a person whole and all and comparing ourselves with. It is important to focus on your own goals and work on building it up. Being kinder to yourself will allow you the strength to evaluate the distance between where we stand and where we want to reach, and slowly plan our way towards it. It is very important to understand and be cognizant of your own personal journeys and limitations. We need to understand that there are certain things that are beyond our control. Sometimes an attitude of unconditional acceptance can help us to think beyond our limitations and to understand how to maneuver through them. Rather, is spend a lot of time in just cribbing about the things that we don't have. We may not be able to focus on energy on creating alternative channels to reach our goals. So yes, be mindful of your limitations and sincerely work towards overcoming them. Yes, failure is possible. In fact, sometimes inevitable. Think about it. If you're starting something which is really complicated and difficult, you're bound to fail sometimes. But the message to take home is forgive yourself and immediately work on, overcoming your challenges. Some failures are inevitable and it's perfectly fine for you to go through this process. But what would really help is you're able to muster your strength and efforts towards building something yet again. The idea is to identify your mistakes and move forward rather than being stuck in that position and complaining about how things are not okay. There are always going to be things that would be beyond your control, and instead of spending time complaining and brooding about it, it is better to sort of look ahead with hope and think of the ways that you can overcome them. You may not be able to sort of cover up everything, but if you're able to alter even a smaller element, it will still lead to significant difference in the outcome that you're looking for. You also need to understand that sometimes our journeys can be a bit prolonged than what we had imagined. If you've set about looking to fulfill a particular goal, maybe the timeline isn't working for you. At such points, rather than talking about how you're not reached the destination you want to be, we need to be mindful of the fact that ours is a longer journey. It's absolutely fine to maintain your own speed and consistency while working on your goals. We might end up, using up a lot of energy in feeling impatient and in trying to sort of, speed up our journey by using certain shortcuts that may not exactly be helpful. I also feel that it is important to emphasize that not all journeys are supposed to be difficult. If you have a tendency to always choose a difficult path, you need to understand that it's unfair to do so. Maybe there are other possibilities. Think about it. I'm not asking you to always choose easier one, but I'm saying that do not deliberately focus on something just because it is difficult. Well, the journey and the destination is what that is matters, and therefore we need to keep our eye towards our end goal and focus on the same. Sometimes that requires a lot of foresight on our part. Sometimes we may find ourselves, not doing enough in our journey, but all of that is okay. Yes, that's all, folks. This is all you need to understand about self-compassion and be there for yourself while you are trying to master something that is very complicated and difficult. And moreover, all the best in your journey. I hope you like this video. Feel free to like, share and subscribe to my channel. In case you have any comments or any other topics that you would like for me to cover, please make a comment below. Thank you.